Good morning. We usually don't like to say when we're filming this because we like to give the illusion that we're filming it on the Friday that it's being sent to you. But I'm filming this on Wednesday, September 3rd. And the reason I'm letting you know that is because September 3rd, although you may be unfamiliar with it, is somewhat of an important day in the history of American Judaism. On September 3rd, 1875, the Hebrew Union College was established in Cincinnati, Ohio. For those of you who may not know, you can see my ordination certificate behind me. For those of you who don't know, the Hebrew Union College was the first seminary for training rabbis in North America, as a matter of fact, in the Western Hemisphere. And it set the model for everything else to come for the building of Jewish institutional life in North America. The founder of the college was a man named Isaac Mayer Wise, known for many, many wonderful achievements and a brilliant intellect, and also his wonderful mutton chops. But Isaac Mayer Wise, who was a rabbi trained abroad, decided that it was time that America, which up until then had not a place to train American-born rabbis, needed to produce American-born rabbis to serve a growing Jewish population. So he got together with some other like-minded folk, and they established the Hebrew Union College in 1875, as I said, in Cincinnati, Ohio. His theory, his idea, was that he'd get Jewish congregations around America to chip in a little bit to help fund the college, and they would then have access to the rabbis they trained. It was a very brilliant idea. He created, in addition to the Hebrew Union College, he created a sister organization, which up until recently was called the Union of American Hebrew Congregations, which became the North American body of the Reform movement. And he created an organization for graduates of the Hebrew Union College called the Central Conference of American Rabbis. Later on, in 1922, a rabbi in New York City, Stephen Wise, established the Jewish Institute of Religion to also train rabbis in America, also in the progressive model. And in 1950, the two institutions merged, forming the Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion, which exists to this day. The college has campuses in New York City, in Cincinnati, in Los Angeles, right here on the campus of USC, and of course in Jerusalem, just down the street from the King David Hotel. Why was it so important? Because Wise understood that the creation of a cadre of Native American-born rabbis and Jewish leaders that understood the unique challenges of being Jewish in America was the only way for Reform Judaism, for progressive Judaism to thrive. And in fact, his model was so successful that it is largely the model that exists to this day. The Jewish Theological Seminary in New York City has a similar arrangement, a congregational arm, a graduate arm, and the institution itself, that's in Morningside Heights in New York City. Yeshiva University, which is the home of so-called modern orthodoxy in America, also operates under the same basic three-institution organizational structure. And these three institutions have had a profound impact on American Jewry for the past 150 years. Now, of course, things have changed. There are many other institutions that ordain rabbis and train Jewish professionals, but we should acknowledge on September 3rd, on the 150th anniversary of the Hebrew Union College, the great contribution of the Reform movement to expanding Judaism in North America. We pay thanks and tribute to those who are upon whose shoulders we stand for the way in which the movement has been on the forefront of every significant social change in its history, including the ordination of women, something that certainly the conservative movement followed somewhat after us. And we need to understand that we really, in many ways, Temple Judea wouldn't be here were it not for the vision and the wisdom of Isaac Mayer Wise, those 150 years ago. That's a good segue into the fact that I hope we're going to see you this evening. We have an amazing event in the history of our synagogue. We're going to be dedicating the play yard that the ECC and other kids of that age cohort will be wildly playing on. It's the good work of a lot of visionary people who have decided that that's what we need. And I hope that you'll think about coming to that event. Starts at 4:30 before services. It also will feature after that our back to shul Shabbat with a barbecue, and 6:15 we'll gather for services in the Gore Sanctuary. It's going to be a fabulous, fabulous evening as we get ready to set our sights on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. All of the clergy team will be there, and we are looking forward to seeing you this evening at 6:15 in the Gore Sanctuary. Shabbat Shalom.